What were some common horror movie themes in the 2000s? Imagine a time when horror films started reflecting more than just jump scares and monsters. The 2000s brought a wave of movies that captured the fears and anxieties of the era in bold new ways. One of the biggest shifts was the rise of psychological and paranormal horror. Films like The Ring and The Grudge remade Japanese horror stories and introduced darker, more unsettling tones. These movies focused on supernatural forces and mind games that kept viewers on edge. At the same time, the decade saw the emergence of extreme horror, often called torture porn. Movies like Saw and Hostel became known for their graphic violence and cruelty. These films played on fears about safety and the darker side of human nature. They pushed the limits of gore and discomfort, making horror more visceral and intense. Another trend was the popularity of found footage movies. These films used a documentary style that made the scares feel real and immediate. Paranormal Activity is a prime example, with its shaky camera work and low-budget look that added to the sense of authenticity. Viewers felt like they were right there in the story, experiencing the terror firsthand. Home invasion and survival horror also gained popularity. These movies tapped into fears of personal safety and human threats lurking in familiar places. The idea of being trapped in your own home with danger closing in struck a chord with audiences. Zombie movies made a big comeback as well. These films often combined horror with social commentary, reflecting concerns about society and the world. They showed hordes of the undead, but also explored themes like isolation, chaos, and survival. Looking at House of Wax from 2005, you can see how these themes blended. It combined classic slasher elements with modern gore and effects, fitting perfectly into the 2000s horror scene. Overall, the decade was marked by a mix of supernatural fears, graphic violence, realistic storytelling, and social fears, creating a diverse horror landscape that still influences movies today.